You ever notice how life has a way of making you doubt yourself? You look at where you came from and think that's where you're stuck. You dream big, but the work feels overwhelming. You fail once and start believing you're finished. You wait longer than expected and assume it's never going to happen. That's the trap most people fall into. They let circumstances dictate their destiny instead of realizing the power that's inside them. But let me tell you something, your story isn't over. You're not defined by your past, you're refined by it. Every setback is shaping you. Every delay is teaching you. Every struggle is preparing you. And if you can shift your mindset, if you can train yourself to see beyond the pain, beyond the fear, beyond the weight, you'll realize nothing can stop you from stepping into the life you were created for. So today, I need you to lean in, because what we're about to unpack is bigger than motivation. It's transformation. By the time this message is over, you won't just feel inspired. You'll feel empowered to take control of your future, no matter what your past looked like. Stay with me until the end, and I promise you'll walk away different. Your background is not your destiny, and that simple truth has the power to break chains that have been holding people back for years. Too often, we let where we came from convince us that's where we're supposed to stay. If you grew up poor, you're told you'll never be rich. If you came from a broken home, you're told you'll never build a strong one. If you struggled in school, you're told you'll never be successful. Society loves to put limits on people by labeling them based on their past. But here's the reality. Your background is nothing more than the starting point, not the finish line. The environment you were born into was the beginning of your story, but it doesn't have the authority to write the ending. Some of the most powerful success stories in the world came from the most difficult beginnings. People who had no resources, no support, sometimes not even a clear path forward, but they refused to accept that their starting place had to be their staying place. They decided their future would be shaped by their vision, not their conditions. And that decision to believe in more than what they saw became the fuel that carried them past every obstacle. The truth is, your background can shape you, but it doesn't have to confine you. Maybe growing up in struggle taught you how to hustle harder. Maybe being told no gave you the drive to keep pushing until you hurt eyes. Even pain can prepare you for purpose. What matters is not what you've been through, but what you choose to do with it. You can use your past as an excuse to give up, or you can use it as the reason you refuse to quit. When you believe your background defines your destiny, you surrender your power. You put your life in the hands of circumstances that are already behind you. But when you understand that destiny is written by choices, discipline, faith, and persistence, suddenly the past loses its grip. Where you came from is part of your story, but it doesn't own the last chapter. Your destiny is determined by the vision you set for yourself and the work you're willing to put in every single day. Dreams demand action because wishing and hoping alone will never create the life you imagine. Too many people carry big dreams in their hearts, but treat them like decorations instead of responsibilities. They talk about what they want, they pray about what they want, but when it's time to move, to sacrifice, to put in the hours, they hesitate. A dream without action is nothing more than a fantasy, and fantasies don't change your reality. Action is the bridge between imagination and manifestation, and without that bridge, dreams remain locked away in your mind. The truth is, dreaming is easy. Everybody can close their eyes and picture a better life, but not everybody is willing to do the work that life requires. Success demands sweat, discipline, and consistency. You can't say you want to be a writer, but never write. You can't say you want to be healthy, but never train your body. You can't say you want to build wealth, but never manage your money. Your actions prove whether your dream is serious or just wishful thinking. Every step you take, no matter how small, moves you closer, while every excuse keeps you stuck. Dreams also test you to see if you're willing to pay the price. There will be long nights, early mornings, moments of doubt, and times when quitting feels easier. That's where action separates the dreamers from the doers. The dreamers stop when it's hard. The doers keep moving until the vision becomes real. Action doesn't mean perfection, it means progress. Even if you stumble, even if you fail, the fact that you moved is what keeps the dream alive. Faith plays a role too, because action and faith work together. Faith gives you the courage to believe your dream is possible, but action proves you're ready for it. It's not enough to sit and wait for opportunities to drop from the sky. You have to prepare yourself so that when opportunity knocks, you're not empty-handed. When action becomes your habit, doors start opening that would have stayed shut if you were just wishing. At the end of the day, dreams are promises you make to yourself, but action is the only way to keep that promise. If you want the dream, you've got to move your feet, because no one ever reached their destiny by standing still. Failure is preparation, not punishment. And the sooner you see it that way, the freer you become to chase big goals. Most people fear failure because they think it's proof they aren't good enough, smart enough, or talented enough. They treat it like a final verdict instead of a temporary teacher. But failure was never designed to destroy you. It was designed to prepare you. Every setback carries a lesson. Every disappointment carries wisdom. And every fall toughens you up for the climb ahead. The pain of failure isn't punishment. It's training for the strength and character you'll need once you actually reach success. Think about it. Nobody learns to walk without falling. Nobody learns to ride a bike without tipping over. But nobody learns to master anything without stumbling through mistakes first. Failure is simply part of the process. It reveals what doesn't work so you can find what does. If you succeed the first time at everything, you'd never develop resilience, patience, or problem-solving skills. Success without struggle leaves you unprepared for challenges that always come later. But when you fail and get back up, you're learning how to endure, how to adapt, and how to fight through. That's preparation. Failure also humbles you. It strips away arrogance and reminds you that growth takes effort. It forces you to dig deeper, to refine your approach, and to stay hungry. Some of the most powerful breakthroughs in life come immediately after the biggest failures, because those failures push people to try a different angle, to work harder, to think smarter. The setback became the setup for something greater. The key is how you interpret failure. If you see it as punishment, you'll quit, and quitting guarantees you'll never see the results you were chasing. But if you see it as preparation, you'll keep moving, knowing that every no is leading you closer to a yes. The sting of failing may hurt for a moment, but the growth it produces lasts a lifetime. In reality, failure doesn't disqualify you, it qualifies you. It proves you were brave enough to try, it equips you with lessons others don't have, and it prepares you to handle the weight of success when it finally arrives. Surroundings shape outcomes because the people and environments you allow into your life play a huge role in determining where you end up. No matter how strong your willpower may seem, you can't constantly rise above the influence of those around you. If your circle is filled with negativity, doubt, and small thinking, eventually that energy will rub off on you. On the other hand, if your environment is filled with encouragement, vision, and accountability, you're far more likely to grow into the person you want to become. Human beings are wired to adapt to their surroundings, and if you're not careful, you'll adapt to an environment that keeps you stuck instead of one that pushes you forward. Think about it. If you're constantly around people who complain, criticize, or make excuses, that becomes your normal. You stop even realizing how much it drains you until you wonder why your motivation disappeared. But when you're surrounded by people who are chasing goals, taking risks, and speaking life into you, suddenly you start thinking bigger. Their energy challenges you, their habits inspire you, and their mindset stretches you. The environment you live in either feeds your vision or starves it. It's not just people either. Your surroundings include what you consume: music, social media, entertainment, conversations. If all you feed your mind is negativity, comparison, and distraction, you weaken your focus and confidence. But if you fill your mind with knowledge, positivity, and ideas that align with your goals, you build a mental environment that supports growth. Success is rarely a solo journey. It's built in community and shaped by influence. Sometimes the hardest part of chasing a dream is realizing you may need to separate from people who don't want to grow. Not because you don't love them, but because you can't allow their limitations to become yours. Protecting your environment is an act of responsibility to your future self. The right surroundings don't guarantee success, but the wrong ones almost guarantee failure. At the end of the day, your outcomes are not only about what you do, but also about who and what you keep around you. If you want to go higher, your surroundings must match the level of the life you're reaching for. Delay is not denial, and understanding this truth is one of the keys to maintaining faith and persistence when life doesn't move at the pace you expect. Too often, people confuse waiting with losing, as if a dream that hasn't happened yet is a dream that will never happen. But timing is a hidden factor in every success story. Just because something hasn't shown up on your schedule doesn't mean it's been canceled. Sometimes the delay is protecting you, preparing you, or positioning you for something greater than you imagine. Think about a farmer planting seeds. The farmer doesn't put seeds in the ground today and expect a full harvest tomorrow. There is a season of waiting, watering, and protecting before the crops appear. If the farmer gave up just because the field looked empty after a few days, the harvest would never come. Life works the same way. The dream you planted may not be visible right now, but that doesn't mean it's not growing. Some things take time to develop, and if you quit in the waiting season, you forfeit what was on its way. Delay also builds patience and strength. If everything you wanted arrived instantly, you wouldn't learn endurance, and you wouldn't appreciate the value of what you receive. Waiting teaches you how to handle frustration, how to keep showing up without immediate reward, and how to stay consistent even when results are invisible. These qualities are essential because once success arrives, you'll need the same patience and discipline to sustain it. Many times, the delay is not about the dream, but about you. You may need to grow in character, skill, or wisdom before you can handle what you're asking for. Getting something too early can be just as harmful as never getting it at all. The delay ensures that when the opportunity comes, you're not just excited, you're ready. So when doors don't open right away, don't assume the answer is no. Sometimes the answer is not yet. The vision you carry is still alive. The timing is just aligning with factors you can't see. Delay tests your faith, but it does not erase your destiny. If you can learn to trust the process and stay committed in the waiting season, what looks delayed will eventually arrive right on time. Gratitude unlocks growth because it shifts your focus from what you lack to what you already have, and that change in perspective opens the door for more. When you live in a state of constant dissatisfaction, always chasing the next thing without appreciating the present, you create a cycle of emptiness. Even when good things happen, you overlook them because your eyes are fixed on what hasn't happened yet. Gratitude breaks that cycle by teaching you to value progress, no matter how small, and to recognize blessings even in the middle of struggle. When you can truly appreciate where you are, you build the capacity to handle greater opportunities ahead. Gratitude is powerful because it changes how you experience challenges. Instead of only seeing problems, you begin to see lessons. Instead of being consumed by frustration, you find reasons to be thankful for growth, resilience, or strength you didn't know you had. This mindset doesn't mean you ignore difficulties. It means you choose not to let difficulties blind you to everything else that is good. That simple shift creates peace in the present and hope for the future, which fuels growth. People often think growth only comes from pushing harder, setting bigger goals, or demanding more. While those things matter, they lose their impact without gratitude. A person who is ungrateful will never be satisfied, no matter how much they achieve, because they're always looking at what's missing. But someone with gratitude can find joy in each step of the journey, which keeps them motivated and consistent. That consistency compounds over time and produces lasting growth. Gratitude also attracts opportunities. When you show appreciation for what you have, people want to help you, support you, and trust you with more. No one wants to invest in someone who's bitter and ungrateful, but people naturally gravitate towards someone who radiates thankfulness. Life works the same way. The more you acknowledge the good around you, the more good you invite into your space. Most importantly, gratitude keeps you grounded. Success can make people arrogant, but gratitude keeps you humble, reminding you that every step forward was helped by people, lessons, and moments you didn't create alone. That humility creates space for continued learning and growth. Gratitude is not just an attitude, it's a key that unlocks joy, resilience, and the ability to handle greater blessings when they arrive. Here's a strong conclusion that leaves the audience speechless. Speech together, followed by a closing good luck and thank you message in that same powerful stage delivery style. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter where you started, how many times you failed, or how long it's taking. You are not stuck. Your background is not your destiny. Your dreams demand action, and your failures are not punishment, but preparation. The people you surround yourself with will either push you forward or pull you back. But even when the process feels delayed, remember that delay is not denial. And if you want to unlock the next level of your life, start with gratitude. Because when you appreciate what you have, you create space for what's coming. This entire message boils down to one truth: your future is in your hands. The power isn't in emotions, excuses, or circumstances. It's in the choices you make and the mindset you carry. If you hold on to that, no obstacle can stop you. Thank you for giving me your time and your attention. I hope these words stay with you long after this moment ends. I'm wishing you strength when things get hard, faith when things feel uncertain, and courage when the dream feels bigger than you. Good luck on your journey, and may every step you take lead you closer to the life you were born to live. Thank you, and God bless. Would you like me to also craft a as powerful intro for this speech, like the last one, so it grips the audience right from the first second of the video?